Hello and welcome to Sacred Wellness. This is Midlife Rediscovered, a space for women who no longer are interested in surviving. If you're ready to come home to yourselves, then this show is for you. If you've been feeling like you're more tired, more emotional, more sensitive, and more aware that the life you built doesn't quite fit the women you are becoming, take a few moments, place your hand on your heart. Feel the life force energy move within you. And remember, through that life force energy, you are waking up. Today, we're talking about what it really means to rediscover yourself at midlife, not just physically, but emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. Midlife has long been labeled as a crisis. It's been something to be feared and not something to be acknowledged. I'd like you to open your mind today and start to change and reframe the perspective and look at it that it's actually a calling. This sacred unraveling of who you had to be so you can finally become who you truly are. There is a time that comes for many women, many in their 40s, 50s, sometimes in their 30s, where something shifts. Maybe your children are getting older and don't need you as much. Or maybe where you are just doesn't seem to fit. Maybe what used to work doesn't work anymore for you. Maybe all that you have given is too much. What you used to tolerate feels unbearable to your soul. Those roles that you played as mother, partner, caretaker, achiever, they start to feel too small for your spirit. This is not something that's random. Midlife is an awakening of your soul. If you're beginning to question, who am I now? What do I want? And why does my old life feel so heavy? Then listen up. Today we're going to talk about your nervous system, how we're tired. We're tired of overriding. We're tired of consistently going. We're tired of the silence. And we're tired of the waiting. Midlife is about you. And it's about you listening to your inner voice. That inner voice will get louder and louder and louder because she's done being ignored. Things need to change. And first, it starts with the body. Let's jump right in and talk about the body. The body is something that for so long we have carried everything. We have these hormonal changes going on, and they just don't affect your mood. They affect every piece of you, your body, your emotional tolerance for bullshit, your sleep, your anxiety, what finally needs to be released within you so that you can become. Here's what many women don't hear as they're going through this process. It's not just hormones. It's decades. It's years of unprocessed emotion. It's years of stuffing down emotion and feelings. It's years of overgiving, doing it all, holding it together, and being strong for everybody else. And then what's left for you? Your body and your nervous system are saying, I can no longer survive in this survival mode. It's painful. It's physically painful for your body to live in that area. That's why the exhaustion comes. That's why your anxiety rises and your tears come out of nowhere. It's not because you're weak. That may be what you've been told, but it's not because of that. It's because you're asking to be heard. For the first fucking time, you're asking to be heard. And how does that look for you? For everybody, it's different, right? We're all at different places in our life, going through different things. But one thing remains consistent for a woman that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s is that we are changing. The energy of the world is changing. It's requiring us to step up and step into who we're supposed to become. And we can't do that if we stay in a space that no longer fits us. What we'd like to do is to begin with a gentle practice. In the beginning, I had you place your hand on your heart. And I ask you to do that again now. Ask your body, your mind, and your soul, what do I need today? What is it important for me to know? What does it look like for me? How can I move through and become the awakened woman? As you do that, take a few moments and write down what comes to you. As we do, I'll share a story about me and how long I've been going through this midlife. And it really probably started when my children were beginning to become older and I was starting over. And if you've identified as a wife or a mother for so long, when that begins to change, things change within you. What used to be tolerable isn't tolerable anymore. And I find myself now again, having a daughter that's 16, going through this midlife, but carrying things that we don't talk about. And why don't we talk about it? This midlife rediscovering that we're going through has to allow us times to grieve. Not only grieve things, roles that were ended, careers that were changed, dreams that were put on hold so that you could take care of your family, and years of putting yourself last. The woman you used to be. Your body is changing physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually. You can't deny that there'll be some feelings of loss, some feelings of change, some feelings of the unknown. And sometimes that grief shows up as rage. Sometimes it shows up as numbness. Sometimes it shows up just as this deep fatigue that nothing fixes. But I can tell you this about grief after being in grief for several years. And after the death of my son, that grief that does not get witnessed gets stored in the body. And this goes for everybody, not just midlife women. But this is where the sacred emotional work matters. This is why creating safe spaces for the soul to speak to you matters. When you allow your emotions to move through you, to feel all the feelings that you've been holding on to allow yourself to be witnessed, not judged. Something profound happens. This is the perfect timing as we're moving through the old energy and moving into the fire horse energy now. We are being called more and more every day to release that what no longer serves us in this space and allowing those emotions to move. That frees up the energy. Allowing yourself to purge, that frees up the clarity. Whether it's purging emotionally, whether it's purging things, people, things that no longer represent who you are. Maybe it's things you've held on to. Maybe it's a persona that somebody told you who you were. But that person does not resonate anymore. This deeper version of you is beginning to emerge. I think often we are looked in midlife as this declining in age, things we may or may not be able to do anymore. We're looking at it from the wrong perspective. When you view yourself and your surroundings from a higher perspective, it's an initiation. You are shedding everything that was shaped by expectations, expectations of others for yourself, expectations of yourself that you put on for others. And you're coming to a place where you're meeting this woman shaped by truth. But what does that look like for you? It's different for all of us. But I can tell you that in this space, we are learning to listen to what our higher self wants. Our initiation sharpens. Our tolerance for bullshit and nonsense decreases. Authenticity matters most to you rather than approval. You no longer care. You don't give a shit. You don't care what others think of you. You're not losing yourself in this space. Many of us feel like we're losing a piece of us. And it's natural to feel that loss and that grief that comes when we're changing so drastically. What we're actually doing is meeting ourselves once again. We're meeting ourselves and we're saying, how am I ready to choose myself now? What am I pretending doesn't matter? That does matter. As you ask yourself these questions, they open a doorway to your next chapter. The next chapter of who you truly are becoming as an awakened woman. You see, in our society, we have this thing about pushing and grinding and pushing doors that are closed and making them open. Hustling, doing more, resting less. That old way of thinking has gone away. There's no longer a space for us to be in that energy. Your nervous system is calling to you, that saying, slow down. Rest is your medicine. Stillness is your wisdom. Connecting with your higher self, tuning into your body. The more that you are able to do that, the easier that it gets, the more clarity that comes. What is it for you? I always say your truest and best knowledge comes from your highest self. Your soul knows the way. But we've been so caught up in this physical life of things and people and places and wanting that we've lost our way. And the natural way for us, especially in midlife, is to slow down, to listen, to connect. Maybe the emotional release that you're looking for, maybe the speaking of the truth that you desire comes through that purging, that crying. It clears stored energy to give you clarity. Maybe for you, it's exercise and it's jumping out there, or it's doing yoga, or it's walking in nature, but it's listening. This segment of your life requires you to listen to your body. There's no more denying what your body needs. Your body needs to eat, it needs to move, and it needs to sleep in ways that support this new version of you, not who you were 20 years ago. And it's okay, for God's sakes, it's okay to say fucking no. No, I don't want to do this anymore. No, I don't like the way this is going. No, I can't drive you all over the place. No, sometimes is all you need to say for you to listen to your body. And if that requires you making changes in your life, then that's what it requires. Again, tune into your highest self for your guidance. Your inner wisdom is stronger than ever now. And the more that we do these things to release emotionally, to clear our nervous system, to make our nervous system feel safe, to listen to our body, the clearer our inner wisdom becomes. These things are the kind of things that I guide whole women healing through: the body, the emotions, and the soul. You're going to be seeing a lot of that on this show this year and in this season. As I'm changing, it's only natural that what I do will change. Midlife is truly rediscovered when you learn that there's a bigger piece. It's not where you fade away into the background, where you become invisible, but it's where you return. And when you return to your voice, your intuition, your boundaries, your truth, something miraculous happens within you. Not only do you feel powerful, not only do you feel ripening, not only do you feel more aligned, you're becoming more aligned with the version of you that's no longer pretending for everybody else. If you're in this space now and you've spoken to your heart and you're beginning to understand, we are moving into a new energy period. And if it aligns with your midlife rediscovery, you're becoming an awakened woman, then I have to tell you that you are not in this alone. This is not a transition for you to walk alone with. There is sacred support every day, not only from your higher self, but from other women that are going through this. If you're ready to become, if you're ready to understand what midlife rediscovers means for you, then Sacred Wellness Midlife Rediscovered is the channel for you. There's so much that we can do and build together. All it's asking is that you take the time, you acknowledge what you need, and you speak your truth honestly and authentically from the very depths of your soul, and align with your highest and truest self. If you enjoyed my show today, please like, subscribe, share, and follow. I am Terry Ann Russell, and I will be here every week through this season as we discover midlife rediscovered.